Welcome to Hops News, the trusted source in beer culture news. Here's your host, Jay Brew, with special guests, the Hoppy Mommy, Lucky, and Nash.
Hey, welcome to another episode of Hoppy Hour. And we're just kidding. Mash actually isn't here tonight. I think he's down with the virus in Idaho.
Ruh-roh.
Corona? Was it confirmed Corona or no?
No.
Okay.
It might be. We'll never know.
You never know up there.
Yeah, welcome to another episode. We got a great episode lined up for you tonight. We don't have Mash with us, though. But we've got the rest of the crew, and we also have Stephen Fuller with Wackadoo Brewing that's going to join us here in a minute. But Stephen's hanging out in the green room right now and probably drinking one of his Wackadoo Brewing beers. Let's go check in with Lucky, man. It's Lucky. Your luck ran out on Saturday,
My
son.
luck ran out. Yeah, I apologize for that one. I know we have a lot of App State fans, and I decided to hop on the bandwagon, and boy, do I feel bad because you guys got smoked. It looked decent, looked like it was going to be a good game early on, and then just, I don't know, man, couldn't score, couldn't do much of anything. So I sincerely apologize to the people of App State. But yeah, I mean, it's at least good to have college football back. Tomorrow the Big Ten and SEC are coming back, so I'm super excited. I can't complain about it too much, but again, I do want to apologize to App State. And you, Jay, I really want to apologize to you. I could feel your despair through the text messages, through the group chat.
I will tell you what, and obviously when you're running with kind of like you with Wisconsin, I'm sure there's a group, you know, there's people on Twitter and Facebook groups and all that stuff that you follow. But somebody said it best on Twitter. We are some of the worst losers in the nation when it comes to losing football games. I mean, our fan base will denounce coaches, ADs, football players, their parents, the bus drivers that took them there.
God.
Yeah, man, it is. But, to our defense, when you lose 5 games in the past 5 years, you kind of get used to winning. And when you go to Marshall, Marshall's, if we played that game tomorrow, we're winning. I'll take that bet any day. We just didn't have a very good game. But that's why we go play football, right? I mean, that's why teams have to go and meet up and play the game and see the outcome. But yeah, man, it's always tough to lose. especially when we're used to winning as much. But you got a, what is that, a Shamrock shirt? You got Lucky in the Shamrock shirt. That is nice.
Shamrock Shuffle. This is like from 2 years ago. I think JJ's in the comments right now saying he loves it because this is insanely old. Man, just incredibly old. Shamrock Shuffle is one of the biggest like bar shuffles in Milwaukee. I don't think I've ever not blacked out at one. But yeah, it's really old, and then I'm drinking a pumpkin lager, so we're just all over the place with themes and whatnot tonight.
Very nice. Let's give a couple of shout-outs to who's in the chat already. We've got MASH dropping in with the donations already. We've got Wounded Warriors on the donate button. Great organization. Drop them some change in the bucket. Jeff Langer. So Jeff is going to join me Saturday morning for our tailgate, and we're going live tailgating at Boonshine Brewery in Boone, North Carolina. So Jeff will be with me live. We're going to talk a little beer with the Boonshine folks. They're making some great products there in Boone. And then Jeff and I are going to talk a little football the last half hour. So I'm looking forward to catching up with Jeff. And obviously, we're going to end about an hour before the game starts. So I'd imagine Jeff and I will find a watering hole to catch the game together. We've got MASH still in the chat. We've got Lori. We've got Jared. Appreciate you guys joining us. And Jeff says, play like shit. That's what happens. Yes, sir. That is what happens.
Yeah, I mean,
that is what happens.
To rub it in Mash's face a little bit, he said that you guys weren't going to sniff the top 25, and you guys were 23 after week 2. So you got to rub that in his face a little bit at least.
Yeah, and I will tell you, Marshall is
Matt's not here to defend himself.
Yeah, it's fine. That's why we can shit on him for a little bit.
I will tell you, I would not be surprised if Marshall's up there after this week. They've got a good football team, man.
Yeah, their quarterback. What's their story with their quarterback? I know he didn't they have a stud senior that was supposed to come back, but he opted out because of this freshman, and this freshman's been setting the world on fire or something like that.
Yeah, some story like that. But I will tell you, that running back is nothing to shake a stick at either.
Mm-hmm.
That guy had 7.8 yards a carry on one of the 2 years ago. App State defense was one of the best at stopping the run. So he's a guy to watch. You know, I'm not saying they're all that great, but those guys have had 2 great games back to back, and I wouldn't be surprised if they're in it. Matt says Pac-12 is coming back for 7 games. Yeah, man, I will tell you, they're all jumping on board now. They're seeing these G5 guys go out there and get primetime spots. I think there was a G5 and an FCS school that were head-to-head on ESPN a couple of weeks ago, and they're seeing those guys get them primetime spots. They've got to go make some money themselves, so I'm sure we'll see a lot more of that going on. Speaking of, Lori's mentioned the Dolphins fan. I know somebody else that's a Dolphins fan. Let's go check in with her. Look at that. She's even got the shirt on tonight. Hoppy, how are things in Orlando, Florida?
Not too bad. Yeah, the Dolphins actually play in like 13 minutes against the Jags, but I still don't even think we get the game. We didn't get the game last Saturday. It's ridiculous. Up in Orlando, you don't get a lot of Miami games. But the Heat are doing amazing, so I really can't complain, and we're getting all those games, and that's what I care about the most anyways. So I'm happy.
Is absolutely incredible.
Oh, my gosh.
Oh, my goodness.
I mean, that one play yesterday, it was like you got like a glimpse of Dwayne Wade, and he broke Dwayne Wade's record. And Dwayne Wade was like, yeah, he was happy for him. It was amazing.
I saw a stat. Sorry to interrupt you, but I saw a stat that he has the second most points of any playoff game, like for a player under 20, right behind Magic Johnson. I think, is that right? 37.
I don't remember exactly. I just know he broke Dwayne Wade's rookie record.
It's crazy. Absolutely crazy.
But I mean, I hope he sticks around. I love when you get the players young, like we had Wade, and you just see them grow with the team and carry, not carry the team, but just be, he needs to grow into that good team leader and stick around. So I'm hoping he stays. But I am celebrating Oktoberfest with a little Hofbräu. I don't know how to say it, but gotta go. I mean, I forget how fast these beers go down. It's already almost gone, and I opened it right before we started. They go down so easy.
Same. My pumpkin's almost gone.
Well, so can't go wrong with German or pumpkin beer.
Yeah, you're all in the spirit already of October. I'm a little bit behind over here, but I kind of like that. You had a good spread. That picture you posted, that was kind of a who's who of Oktoberfest beers. That was a great picture there. You got some great beers to drink.
Yeah, I like to mix up the classics with some of the local beers.
Yep.
So get a little bit of taste of all of it.
Nice. Jeff's got the story on the starting quarterback for us there, Lucky. Said their starting quarterback took a swing at the offensive coordinator and was kicked off the team. Yeah, that'll
maybe not quite my story, but I know the freshman that they have is a phenom. That guy that started, he's supposed to be, and he played. He looked phenomenal against you guys. No offense,
he looked good. I'm actually sipping on Dissolvers.
Ooh.
Dissolvers Mexican lager. Mexican style dark lager. It is absolutely phenomenal. These guys down in Asheville make some amazing beer. If I would have looked and known they were only 4%, I'd have picked up a whole 4-pack of them. But I figured it was going to be something pretty high powered, so I only picked up one. But it's a great beer, pretty cool can. It's kind of got a little Transformer look or something like that, I think, on it. But
something like that.
Good. Dissolver makes a pretty good beer. I've got a few more of theirs tucked away as well. We've got a great guest lined up for you. Let's see if Steven's still hanging out in the green room for us. Steven, you there?
Yeah, I'm here.
Hey, man. Sorry about the wait. I know we kept you on there a little bit longer than I anticipated, but how are things going at Wackadoo Brewing?
Not too bad. We got a little bit of a delay on our opening because right now a lot of banks are scared to loan to anybody that doesn't have like 3 years already under their belt. So we got pushed back a little bit on it. But everything else, I mean, we're still brewing at home. We're still knocking out good beers. We're still doing free donations to like the VFW, the Ent Bank that we work with. So and we're still doing a lot of stuff. We have a building.
Yeah, that's tough to have a tap room if you don't have a building for it. So
yeah, right.
As long as you're making some good beer in the garage and putting out a good product, and I do follow you on Facebook, and I know you travel around quite a bit and you take care of people with your donations. So I'm definitely sure that's appreciated and enjoyed by the people that you affect with that.
Oh yeah, definitely.
So, Steven, the way we always start things out with our guests is, what was your first beer, man? What was it? When was it? Grandpa's, uncle's refrigerator? What was the first beer you remember drinking?
My first beer I remember, I was 15, and I was at some party that I shouldn't have been at, and people were passing around Colt 45s, and oh, God.
Oh, yeah. Good Lord. Man.
Yeah, that's a tough one, man. That morning had to prevent you from drinking again for a while.
Yeah, about 3 days, and then I got a hold of some Bud and some Bud Light.
About 3 days. Yeah, that's awesome. So what was you doing? How old were you? What was the story behind it?
I was 15. I just left home. I didn't like, being at home with the situation I had there. So I just up and moved out one day, and I've been on my own ever since. And it was just like I was hopping from party to party, finding places to crash,
Nice. 15 years old and you're slamming Colt 45s.
Yeah, right?
Yeah, wow. That's awesome, man. So what was your, obviously going along that, what was your first craft beer that you recall drinking, and what was the circumstance?
I think my first real craft beer was a long time later, and that was Sam Adams. And I love all the Sam Adams products, except for, I don't know why, their summer one tastes like grass to me, but I love everything else they make.
Mm-hmm.
And then I got hooked on Guinness, man, and I've actually traveled to Ireland twice and went to the Guinness brewery both times. I love Guinness. I've
heard that the Guinness tastes different in Ireland. Is that true? That it's way better? They get
100%. Yeah, dude, it's because of the travel time coming over to the States. But I mean, you get it right from their tap room built into the brew house. Oh my God.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I heard it doesn't travel well. But I mean, I think Guinness here is good if you find it on draft. So
I was gonna say, yeah.
Yeah, that's it's not bad, sure. But it's still good, but you can't touch right from their brew house, man. It's amazing.
So you go from Colt 45s to Sam Adams. At what point in this journey did you decide you could take a swing at starting your own brewery?
Starting my own brewery, funny enough, actually started as a joke about 10 months ago. Me and my roommate, he was sick of working for the man, and I've been on disability and working, part-time jobs where I could. And he was like, we need to do something, man. He said, because I've had a couple other businesses before over the years. And he was like, dude, I want to do something. And I was like, all right, how about we make some beer? And he was like, let's do it. You work everything out and I'll back you up and we'll do it. And it was that was it. We got a little kit, brewed one beer, and it turned out amazing. And that's like 6 months now. We've just been brewing nonstop every weekend.
Yeah, that's
Nice.
awesome, man.
And I worked at a couple of breweries over the years, but it was never like I didn't want all that responsibility myself. But I guess I'm just getting old now, so it's like, yeah, let's do it.
Yeah, there's no better time than now to do it.
I feel like that's the beginning of a lot of breweries. It's just like you got to just pull the trigger. It's like a lot of talk, and then it's like, let's just do it. Why not?
Yep, you got to pull the trigger. You're either all in or you don't do it.
So did this business decision happen over beers by chance?
Yeah, it did.
I've made a lot of business decision over beers, and not all of them has been the best, but a couple have been pretty decent.
We realized, because me and him, we both drink. Like, when we get a hold of like the 6-stolls we take out and we're giving out free beer, me and him bring these big 1-liter steins with us, and we just, like, destroy them. I was like, man, at this rate, we actually saved money being brewers.
Yeah. Even if you just make beer for yourself, at least you're coming out ahead of somewhat.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, right?
Yeah, that's awesome, man. So what's the style of beer that you guys like to brew? What is it that's going out of the garage on a regular basis?
Well, the cool thing is, like, I really love the ales and the lagers and the light flavored beers. And my partner, Sean, he loves making stouts, all different kinds of the darker beers. And we did a joint porter that turned out really amazing. So it's a good combination. Like, every single week I've got this blackboard and we're just knocking out different beers every single week. We've only gone back and rebrewed a couple of our original beers because they were so popular they were gone like the next day. So we've had to replenish those. But for the most part, we like to just keep knocking out something different each week.
Yeah, that's awesome, man. Especially being new in it, you kind of might as well travel around the beer styles anyways to figure out what you guys are good at and what is that you produce that you're good with and all of that stuff. So, Stephen, what's your plans with the Wackadoo Brewing? What is kind of the goals? What's your vision for what you want it to become?
Right now we're looking at, we got a 5-barrel system lined up, and we're just going to do strictly tap room. I'm not looking to distribute, just stuff in our area, local community build up. In 5 years, we want to buy our own land so we can build our own place. So it's 100% ours. And we're actually looking at getting one of those big 27-foot party boats, taking VIPs out there doing like barbecue and beer tastings. And the whole thing is we want to keep giving back and keep working with people in the community. Like, almost everything we have now comes from either veteran-owned business or small local businesses. Our hops, we actually contracted with a farm down in Kentucky, a veteran that I know personally. She started a farm and she wanted to know what she could do. And I was like, hell, hops, I had no idea. But if you look at the little chart of like where hops grow best, Kentucky is one of the best states in the U.S. for it. So then I got a local honey company here in Colorado that I get all of my honey from, and they are a veteran-owned small business. So I'm trying to build up as much of that kind of community as I can.
Yeah, that's awesome, man. Yeah, awesome. For sure. What's we got a question in the chat from Brian that says, ask about their zucchini beer. What's up with the zucchini beer?
All right, so down at the VFW, I hang out a lot. There's this old guy down there named Paul, and he owns a farm, and he just brings in and gives away all these vegetables he grows to everybody else there at the bar. You can just come up, and he'll give you, he gave me like 15 pounds of zucchini, and he was like, here, take it. So I took it, and we were just playing around. We're like, if a cucumber beer is supposed to be like good and healthy, and like the cucumber waters are good for you, why can't you do it with zucchini? So we sliced them up, and what we did is we rebrewed our tail gunner, which is our coffee stout, and then once the grains had been run through, I just ran a second cycle of hot water, did about a 30-minute steep in there. And so we took, it's only about a 3.5%. And then we fermented with the zucchini for a full 2 weeks, and it actually came out pretty good. It's low carb, low calorie, 3.5%. So I mean, you can drink a few and not feel bad for it, and it actually didn't taste too bad.
I love zucchini, so that sounds really good to me. I made a zucchini boats or something like that. Last weekend.
So that's what his are perfect for, because they're huge.
Yeah, yep, definitely.
Yeah, and my latest shower beer pick is with me drinking that zucchini beer in my mug. So that's probably what that guy was referring to.
I haven't added you yet, but we were checking you out beforehand, and you love the shower beers, huh? That's something that I found. I was the only one that liked doing that, so I'm glad to see somebody else does.
They're VIP parties.
Yeah, so I got a friend of mine over in Belgium. Her name is just Beer Freak Chick. She does a lot of cool stuff, and she has her own little place. But she got me turned on to that because one day she just got bored and threw up a shower pick, and I was like, bet I can match that. And so me and her started going back and forth, and then some of my friends saw it, and my friends started getting in on it. So some of them, they let me post it up on my Instagram and my Facebook. And so we were trying to make like this whole movement of the shower beer.
That's awesome. Yeah. Might have to get in on that.
There's some brewery that actually did a beer and called it shower beer. And I know I found it at Total Wine, and then I even saw a bunch of people on Instagram doing the beer selfies with the shower. I have a koozie shower, or koozie that stays in the shower.
I was going to say, JJ, I don't think he's still in the comments, but he, every time I shower at his place, he's got like what's it called? Like a magnet koozie or a magnet beer holder or something for his shower specifically. It's really cool.
Mine's Velcro, so you can rip it off the wall.
Yeah, nice.
Stick it back
yeah, there you go.
It's good.
It's a whole movement. But yeah, I remember years ago calling them VIP parties because I was the only person important enough to be invited.
Yeah, so if you get anybody that wants to do it, they send them to me. I'll post them up there. I'm like pushing this big.
Nice.
Yeah, that's awesome. Matt says, so many laws and regulations when opening a brewery. Every state is different, but it's obviously not impossible. Heard the first thing to do is hire a lawyer and an accountant. That is correct.
That's exactly what I do.
Yeah, that is correct.
Because I saw the stack of paperwork, and I was like, nope, I am not that smart.
Yep. Yeah, just tracking what you produce for your TTB reports is daunting at best. So, yeah, definitely have somebody that knows what they're doing with you. Otherwise, you're going to get way behind, and not too long before you get shut down.
Well, it's like with any area of law, just having someone that knows what they're doing is going to just save you so much time. Like, we actually have a lawyer in the area who a bunch of the breweries use for, getting incorporated and all their stuff, and his last name's Brewer. It's like, how freaking lucky
he had to have changed it. He had to have changed it, right? There's no way.
But I mean, it's great because you see at some of the breweries, he has like his sign up, and it's like Brewer Law, and yeah, it's great brewery decor.
That's amazing.
Mm-hmm. If I ever go back to practicing law, he's going to be the first office I knock on.
Yeah, right.
I mean, when. My dad's probably listening. When I go back to law, use that law degree you paid for.
It's so funny.
When the youngest goes to school. Yeah, so what's, you've mentioned a coffee stout. So and you mentioned a porter too, because those are like, you're speaking my kind of language. Do you do fun stuff? Like, you made a zucchini beer. Are you doing anything fun with the porters and stouts? Because a lot of people get super creative with those.
Oh yeah, well, right off the bat, we made a peanut butter porter that was just like knocked out of the park. That's what got everybody like hooked on us, because we went around giving these out. We made like 90 bottles of it, and they were gone in no time.
Wow.
And what's great is the guys up in Oregon, Genus Brewing, they did this little episode of like a whipped topping you could put on beers. And so we made it, and it's a teaspoon of espresso, a teaspoon of sugar, and then some hot water, and you kind of like whip it up, throw that up on top of the peanut butter porter. Oh, it's the best dessert you could have.
That sounds amazing.
Yeah, and stout, we got the coffee stout, and then we did a second version of it with about double the lactose. So it made this really nice kind of milky. We beefed it up a little bit too, and it just turned out really good, kind of like an espresso.
Okay.
So Mash is throwing himself out there like he usually does when you mention blueberries and maple. Mash wants to know what's up with that blueberry maple beer and how can I be a taste tester?
Man, if you were in the area, in a heartbeat, dude, we've given out a few of them now, but I was really shocked. It was our first time trying to make an imperial, and I did not realize it needed so much more time before it was really ready. So at the 2-week mark, we popped open a few bottles, and it just tasted so boozy and so hard. I didn't want to hand it out to anybody. But as we've passed a month now, I think we're right at 5 weeks. I just had one earlier, and it came out a lot better. It's real Maine maple syrup from a relative of mine I didn't even know I had that owns a maple place. And then fresh blueberries, and it was so good. It's amazing. And it hit, originally I thought it was about 8.5, and I went back through and I did a second test on it, and it's like 10.4. So it's really good.
Wow.
That sounds awesome.
Let me see that Stein again, Hoppy.
Oh, yeah.
It looks awesome.
Beer. It's a can Stein.
Oh, nice.
So it's great for tailgating. I mean, Steins were intended to keep bugs out of your beer. So when you're outside, it actually is, usable. Makes sense. It's not just an overpriced toy I bought at Think Geek. While tailgating.
Mash says, Alexa, play I Would Walk 500 Miles. So obviously, Mash is willing to come and get it if the blueberry maple beer is available. And Mash is,
so
you think he's bad with pumpkin. I think he's even worse with maple. So I can definitely understand.
He may be. There's just not as many maple beers as there are pumpkin beers.
Yeah, that's
so that could be.
True.
Yep. So Stephen, what's the tie-in with the Wounded Warrior Project?
Well, because I'm a disabled veteran myself. I did 14 years as an infantryman, and I did 3 tours in Iraq, and I got kind of messed up near the end. And when I first got out, I was in a really bad, really low place. I was one of those guys, I was doing anything I could to, forget who I was and what I'd done. And with some friends of mine from the Wounded Warrior Project, I went in there and started helping other guys out, and that helped me out. And so ever since then, whenever I can do something with veterans, there's a group here in Colorado called the Disgruntled Vets of Colorado, and we're actually doing a vet body car wash this Saturday, where we're going to be doing Daisy Dukes and halter tops and washing cars for people.
I love that. I was hoping that's where you were going, and that's amazing.
Oh, yeah. No, I'm going full out.
I bet you could talk Lucky into joining you.
Yeah. I'm not a vet, but I'll always bust these bad boys out.
I know Mash would join you. He's probably got some Daisy Dukes too. Mash would join you at the car wash. I can promise you that.
You're not a man if you don't own at least one pair of Daisy Dukes. Change my mind.
Right?
You need to.
Yeah, that's awesome, and it's a great organization, Stephen. Definitely appreciate your service. You're in good company with Mash and I. We've both have done our time as well, so definitely appreciate what you've done, and appreciate you picking that organization. They do a lot of work with our Wounded Warriors.
Definitely.
You could say they wackadoo a lot of work. That was really bad.
Hey.
That was really bad. I'm sorry.
You tried.
I tried.
That was a good
terrible.
You gotta leave the dad jokes to the dads.
No, I love dad jokes. They're the
Dad
best.
jokes are amazing. I love them. I'm kind of.
That was
upset they're
just
not
that was a terrible dad joke. So
Hey, I forgot all about this.
They don't all stick.
I did forget all about this, but Mash is in the Air Force, and their shorts, their PT shorts, are definitely Daisy Dukes. So he's got plenty of pairs of Daisy Dukes ready to go for the car wash. So, Stephen, you've told us a little bit about the brewery, told us a little bit about what you guys are doing with it. What's the expectations for you guys? Any timelines that you've gotten? What's your time before you think you have a tap room open up and ready to go for us?
Well, the way we got it figured is if we can't get this through the banks, because we've been pushing for it for a little while now, but everybody's really hesitant, is come March, I think I'm just going to buy a building outright or myself once I got enough money put back for it. Because if we can't get it through them, we're going to do it ourselves. I mean, we would rather do it ourselves anyways. I was just trying to hurry up and get open as quick as I could.
Yeah.
So if we got to wait, I'm going to do it myself, and I'll get us there.
Nice. Well, we definitely appreciate you joining us tonight, Stephen. What else should people know, and how can people find Wackadoo Brewing on the social media networks?
And where do we find the shower beer pics?
All right. So we are on Instagram, Twitter, and Facebook. It's just Wackadoo Brewing. And then me personally, Stephen Fuller, I used to have my little picture there. And you get on there and you just send me a message and I will hook you up if you're anywhere in the state. Or I like to travel a lot on my bike, and I got a big old Army duffel bag now, so I can actually fit a whole sixtel plus the CO2 tank. And I am willing to travel and have fun, And we're always doing good stuff. Like we got the car wash this weekend. The VFW that I work with down there in Fountain, Colorado, they do events all the time, and I come out there and donate free beer. On every Memorial Day and Veterans Day, I started it when I first opened. You message me, and if you're within an hour's drive, I will drive to you on Memorial Day or Veterans Day and give you a free beer of your choice every time.
Nice.
Wow, that's awesome.
Yeah.
And Hoppy did post the Instagram there, so you've got Wackadoo Brewing's Instagram. Go ahead and hit him up. You're a veteran, Memorial Day, he'll bring a beer out to you. I kind of like that model. I might have to... if I'm ever in the area on Memorial Day, I'm going to send you a message and wait for my...
Oh, absolutely, man.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
I like that. Stephen, we definitely appreciate your time for joining us tonight, and best of luck with Wackadoo Brewing, man. I look forward to following you and keeping up with the progress.
All right, thanks a lot, man. I love watching you guys. You guys are great.
Yeah, we appreciate you, man. Thank you for your support.
Awesome.
Yes, sir. You guys take care.
You too, sir.
Yeah.
All right, bye.
Cheers.
Wackadoo Brewing. I like Steven's motto. He's like, man, I'm a party in a damn duffel bag. I'll go wherever the hell I need to go.
Right. That's awesome.
You just let me know where it's going to be, and I'll show it with a party in a damn Army duffel bag, and we're going to have a hell of a time.
That's so funny.
I like that.
He seemed like a good guy. I've seen him in the comments quite a bit. He does watch us, too.
Yeah.
So
good
that's
dude.
good.
And
good to have someone on like that.
Man, I appreciate people that are in the hustle all on their own. A lot of the breweries that we see popping up are just there's a lot of people that got a lot of money that they don't know what to do with. So
yeah, right.
They just throw it at a brewery and hope it sticks. I can appreciate guys like that and having the desire and the fortitude and the will to push it forward and say, man, we're just going to start brewing beer in the garage and try a go at it, man. That's kind of the entrepreneur spirit, and I can definitely appreciate and relate to that shit.
Yeah.
Yeah, right. No kidding.
So, Lucky, I saw you opened a Lakefront Oktoberfest.
Yeah, so I'm drinking all Lakefront tonight in celebration. We got them to commit to coming on Feeling Lucky podcast. That'll be really soon. We're going to do something hopefully in person with them. But yeah, we were drinking them on Feeling Lucky, I think 2 weeks ago. But yeah, it's the Lakefront Oktoberfest. It's really good. I actually prefer, this was the pumpkin that I was drinking earlier. Mm-hmm. I actually prefer that one probably, which is crazy because I'm really not that into pumpkins, but it's a really good pumpkin beer.
I actually found the pumpkin one at Total Wine here last year, and I was impressed with how good it was. But when I went to Total Wine this year, I don't know if I just didn't happen to see it or what, but I couldn't find it. But I thought it was interesting to find, a Wisconsin brewery that I hadn't heard of at the time. Down here, and then today I found beer from Missouri. I sent Mash a picture of all these pumpkin beers. I'm pick one. They had salted caramel pumpkin and pumpkin pie and pumpkin cream. I was like, good Lord.
Oh God, that's awesome.
I was all over the place. But yeah, I'm drinking a Florida Oktoberfest right now. So I went from Munich to 81 Bay Brewing in Florida. So
very nice. I love that Stein thing. So yeah, that just it's clear. And it has the can in it, or does it have something around it?
Nope.
Okay,
They just put the can in
sweet.
it.
That's awesome.
So So when I did the Hoppy's 10 favorite beer accessories, this is in there. So if you go to that article and then click through, the Amazon link is there, and then we get like a penny for whatever, something like that.
Nice. There we
I think
go.
we've made
I'll have to
50
go buy
cents
one.
on Amazon so far. So.
Hey, man. The grind never stops.
Never stops.
Yeah.
But I need to do another one because I have a lot of fun beer accessories.
Way more than me. I've got like 2 mugs and that's it.
This was literally one of those, like a friend showed up tailgating and had this, and it was like one of those, I've had enough to drink, I need to order this now, I don't care how much it is.
Yeah.
My husband's in the other room listening going, yeah, that happened.
I don't have an Amazon account just for that reason, because I know that I would just be drunk ordering stuff all the time. Like all the time, just stuff like that. So anything that I actually need, I give my parents money and they get it for me. And just get it sent to me, but I can't do it because I know it's a downhill spiral if I do.
Well, your mom sometimes watches, right? So this is what you want for Christmas.
Perfect. Yes, absolutely. Mama Lucky. I don't know if she's watching tonight, but if she is, please.
It's a can stein. It's plastic, painted silver, can stein.
Very nice. And it fits perfectly. I'm so impressed by that. It wouldn't fit a 16 like a tall boy.
No,
right?
I mean, you could put it on, but you couldn't close it.
Yeah.
But yeah,
So.
no. And yeah, I mean, you can't even get legit German beers in cans, but you can get the local ones. So Jay, you still on that dissolver?
No, I finished the dissolver. I moved on to the, what is it, Hive Mind? I think I sent you guys one of these.
Oh, yeah.
Yes.
Yeah, Ghost.
I just had that.
What's that?
Ramari Brewing?
The brewery is named Hive Mind Brewing Company. I don't know if you can see it on that can or not, but out of Asheville. Baharmi? Is that the?
I think it's Ramari, but I'm not positive.
Ramari? That's the
I
name
listened
of the
to
beer.
a podcast with them a while ago.
Oh, did you? Nice. Yeah, that's good beer. I think I've sent you guys a can of it in the last
gorgeous can, yeah.
Yeah, and that one is an amazing beer. I've had that one. Well, yeah, you sent it to me.
Pretty solid. Pretty solid beer.
But yeah, they did. They came down to Florida, I think back in January for a beer festival we were having, and then you could get their beer for a little bit in the stores, and they hopped on a local podcast, and they're fairly new, I believe. Them and Dissolver are both fairly new, because they both came down here at one point.
Yeah, both of them are fairly new. Dissolver makes some good stuff. I think I've sent you guys some Dissolver before. I don't remember.
You have, yeah.
But I'll definitely send you some more. They're getting a lot of stuff in our area, so I'll definitely send you guys some more. There is good beer. You guys have another box. I think I shipped out a box yesterday to you guys.
Oh my gosh, I feel like I'm really far behind. I've been doing a lot in the Hoppy.
Well, you've been doing family trades, yeah.
But I haven't gotten you guys one in a while. I got to get one out maybe this week or next.
I sent you guys one of those Netflix and Dill beers as well. That's a pretty interesting beer. Yeah.
So I can finally have a pickle beer.
Yeah, you'll have to tell me what you think about it. I think it's good, man. I'll be honest with you. I bought a 4-pack for ourselves again because it's nothing we sit down and drink 4 of them, but a beer to share with a wife. I mean, I like it. I mean, it literally, it's like pickle brine. I mean, it is that salty, but it is good. And that's
crazy.
And they use like a local, they use like a local pickle company. Is like they're not really. I don't think it's really a collaboration, but they do mention them on the can, I believe it was. But yeah, it's pretty decent beer. And there's some others. I can't remember what else I sent in this one, but I've got to get you guys out that 10W40 as well. It wasn't in this box, but it'll be in the next one.
My mom drinks actual pickle juice, so I might have to save that beer for next time she's here and split it with her, because that sounds like something she would love.
Oh yeah.
What is it? Isn't it a Puerto Rican hooker? Isn't that shot of tequila and pickleback, like a shot of pickle juice or something like that? That's called a Puerto Rican hooker.
What?
I've never heard that.
Yeah. I've done those before. I really
either.
like tequila. If I'm drinking hard liquor, it's definitely tequila. So I don't usually need any kind of chaser, but it's a Puerto Rican hooker is where you take a shot of tequila, usually cheap tequila, and then you take a shot of like pickle juice to chase it.
Interesting.
Man,
It kills it. It absolutely, like, if you don't like hard liquor, pickle juice kills any flavor. Like, it just absolutely kills it. So it makes it easy, but something to try. Go to the bar, your local tavern, and ask for a Puerto Rican hooker and see what they say.
They'll be like, we're going to need you to leave.
Yeah.
Not appropriate.
It's like not here,
right.
fuzz.
Or they'll take you into the back room and you'll have a really good night.
Yeah. Could be a little bit of both.
Speaking of which, I did start watching Preacher, so I'm on season 2.
I didn't know where you were going with that at all.
Nice. Yeah, that's good.
Well, Jake kept saying, like, if you like The Boys, you got to watch Preacher. And, like, season 2, there is a scene like that. He's like, I need to speak to God. And they take him in the back room. And, well, God is not there, but there's something else going on. So I'll leave it at that.
Yeah, that's
funny.
Did you read the book first, or are you watching the movie?
No, I haven't read the book. I have, like, a stack of things I'm still trying to read. And now we're supposed to be doing, Mash and I are going to have our comic book trivia with Hop Heroes, like, in a week and a half.
I'm so excited for that.
When Matt sent me that, I'm like, oh, so we're just gonna get our asses kicked on, our live hot Facebook page.
Is there any specific theme, or is it just gonna be like all comic books in general, like anything?
Well, we had a chat last Saturday. We did a Zoom call, and so it's gonna be basic comic book trivia, but it can be a little bit of movies too. I think we even mentioned it might be some TV, but it's gonna be DC, Marvel, and independent comics, so it can kind of be pulled.
Okay.
So I almost feel like studying is just kind of silly because it's just going to be like what basically.
Right, for sure.
But I guess one of the guys doesn't watch any of the movies. He just reads comics. So if there's any movie questions, I feel like I'm better in the MCU than I am in comic. I feel like I'm going to have my geek card revoked. We might have to cancel the podcast after this. I don't know what to tell you guys. We'll see what happens.
Yeah, Shane, you can always come over to Feeling Lucky. We'll
there
accept
you go. I like it.
Yeah, for sure. Lori, I'll check and see if I can get some more of that pickle beer. I'll check the store maybe tomorrow if I can swing by there after work.
Jay, that's my mom. I'm going to share that when I get that beer, I'll share it with her. Unless you guys want to do a legit full-on trade, then that's fine. But yeah.
Yeah, if I can find some more, I don't have a problem sending more if I can find it. But I'll check and see. It's not easy to find because it is pretty popular around here. But I'll check it out and see what else.
So they hide the pickle?
Yeah.
They definitely hide.
You got to search for the pickle.
You got to know where to knock.
Hey, that's a German tradition at Christmas time.
Mm-hmm.
Searching for the pickle?
Yep.
On the Christmas tree.
Yeah, my wife hides the pickle on the Christmas tree.
Yes, they hide we have a glass pickle. You hide it on the tree and the first kid that finds it.
Yep.
Glass pickle.
I was going to say I'm not speaking in euphemism.
That's something different. I was going to say it.
No, they get like an extra.
We have a different term for that in my household.
And it's usually not done with family.
Well, depending on the state you're in.
That one's one that I do alone.
Yeah.
Just kidding.
Speaking of beers, speaking of Christmas, I think we got a beer school that Hoppy's got lined up for us that I really want to hear. So let's go check in with Hoppy down there in Orlando, Florida. Hoppy, you got beer school for us, I hear.
I got beer school, and this is about Oktoberfest, so it's better than Christmas. Well, almost. Okay, so since my 2021 Oktoberfest vacation is in limbo at the moment, instead of planning a trip to Munich, I did some research on the world's largest beer festival. And anytime I say Oktoberfest, if you want to play a drinking game, anytime I say Oktoberfest or attempt to speak German, just take a sip. So I started with the first obvious question. Why is a beer fest held in September called Oktoberfest? So this goes back to the first ever Oktoberfest celebration. The entire town was invited to celebrate the nuptials of the Crown Prince of Bavaria and Princess Therese of Saxe-Hildenburghausen. The wedding started on October 12th, 1810. It lasted 5 days and ended with a horse race. Everyone apparently had the time of their lives because the following year they had to do it again. To boost agriculture in the area, they even added an agriculture fair the next year, and you can still go to that once every 4 years at Oktoberfest, but they don't do horse races anymore. By 1818, there was food and beer booths added as well as carousels and swings, and today a whole amusement park has become part of the Oktoberfest tradition. In 1819, the citizens of the town took over the now annual celebration and changed the date because October was too cold and got too dark too early. And also 5 days was not enough. So Oktoberfest was moved to the end of September and lengthened. Today it's about 16 to 17 days long, depending on when it starts and all that. So the history and evolution of the world's largest beer fest. In 1896, beer tents and beer halls replaced old sheds. Sadly, in 1933, the iconic blue and white Oktoberfest flag was temporarily replaced with a swastika. Once Oktoberfest returned after World War II, it was referred to as the Autumn Festival until 1948. And then in 1950, things start to get back to normal, and they start the tradition of the mayor of Munich tapping the first keg, and they still do that today. And in 1960 is really when Oktoberfest started to become the huge, iconic bucket list item that we treat it like today. So 2020 is not the only year that Oktoberfest is not occurring. For those who don't know, it was canceled months ago, shockingly. And throughout the last 210 years, war and other pandemics have actually canceled this festival before. In 2010, though, they did still celebrate their 200-year-old birthday with a horse race for the first time in over a century and historical clothing to kick off the fun. So why is this one specific beer so popular at Oktoberfest? So starting in the 1500s, you couldn't brew beer in Bavaria in the summer because there was too high of a risk that brewing could start a fire and burn down your entire city. So the Marzen style beer was born. Marzen just means March. So this is when the style of beer was actually brewed. It then lagered through the summer months and was ready for consumption at the beginning of fall, which we now call, or I call, Oktoberfest season. So traditionally, all Oktoberfests were Marzens. Since these Marzens needed to last, they were a little bit stronger than the average German beer of its time. So beer, you have Marzens, Fest beer, Oktoberfest beer. What the hell's the difference? It seems to be very confusing. So just as the festival has evolved, so has the beer. So Oktoberfest beers, Marzens, were traditionally a bit stronger so they could last. But that's no longer the concern, especially because nobody's worried if you brew beer that you're going to burn down your whole city. That's just gender reveal parties now. So this is actually,
I appreciated that.
This has actually resulted in Oktoberfest beers getting lighter over the years. So Marzens are amber malty European lagers. Prior to 1872, they were a bit darker than the amber color we know now, but compared to Fest beers, they are actually a little bit heavier and have less hops. They also tend to have more malt depth, and they come across as richer. So from 1872 to 1990, the standard Oktoberfest beer served at Munich Festival was a Marzen. A good example of this today is the Hockershire Oktoberfest. I think I have that in my fridge. I don't remember what I have. So Fest beers, they're actually pale malty European lagers. They came about in the 70s because the head brewer at Polliner said everybody's pounding these beers, we need to make them a little bit lighter. So in 1990, all of the Marzens basically turned into Fest beers, so they were a little bit easier to drink and more poundable, and that is actually one of the ones I'm drinking, is one of the ones they serve at Munich. So Fest beers are sometimes referred to as Weizen, which literally translates to the meadow in German, which is actually where Oktoberfest occurs in Munich, and it's a nod to Theresa because they call it the Theresa Fields, and Weizen is like meadow fields, so all that. I don't know, German's confusing. So then you have actual Oktoberfest beers. So to call your beer an Oktoberfest, you must follow the German Bavarian purity laws, which is the Reinheitsgebot, the water, yeast, hops, and barley, and you must be brewed in Munich. And this can be a Marzen or a Fest beer, but it has to be at one of the 6 breweries, and no other brewery in the European Union can call their beer an Oktoberfest unless they're at one of these 6 Munich breweries, which I can try to say, but honestly, I guess if you guys are playing the drinking game, Augustener Bra, Hockerschasch Bra, Lowenbra, Polliner, Spatenbra, Hofbra, and Monada. So there you go. So, okay. Now, so Ein Prostet. Ein Prostet. You all have heard that, right? So many of these Oktoberfest beers were enjoyed in the States are either Marzens or Fest beers. So while the dark German beers are my favorite kind of beer, the lighter Oktoberfest beers are definitely a plus, especially considering the Ein Prostet song, which they're literally telling you 1, 2, 3, drink. And in Munich, they intentionally play this song 4 times an hour so that you drink more and buy more beer. And Smart. They do that in the States as well, because I've been to many local Oktoberfests. So that is the difference between Marzens, Fest beers, and Oktoberfest beers, which makes it a little more confusing, but I also understand it a little bit more as well. So even though we can't go to Munich this year, we can still get local Oktoberfest beers, we can still get Munich beers. we can still wear our dirndls and lederhosens, and we can still sing Ein Prosit and do the ziggy zaggy ziggy zaggy oi oi oi. So now you know a little bit about German beer. Now go drink an Oktoberfest and Prost. Okay.
Prost. I was gonna ask about that. The just because that's the only like cheer that I've done at a German beer hall. There's one real close to me actually. But we do like fig shots, little like things of I don't know what kind of alcohol it is, but it's fig. And you go like you take it and you shake it and you slam it on the table. You go sicky saki, oi oi oi, and then you like have to. You can't use your hands. You have to like tilt it up and drink it, and then put like the cap on your nose or something like that. It's very
maybe
strange.
that's a Wisconsin thing. Well, we have
maybe.
We have a German restaurant here in Sanford, and they have an actual, I bought my dirndl at the store next door, and if you go there wearing a dirndl or a lederhosen, they give you free shots of schnapps.
Oh, nice.
And they do the whole boot thing where if the table orders the boot, nobody can sit down until the boot is gone. So it's an awesome restaurant. I love that place. It's like Oktoberfest all year. But the boot tradition is gross. That was like their military hazing each other, drinking out of somebody else's
You just
boot.
had to drink out of a boot. Yeah. That's disgusting.
Hey, they do that in rugby too.
In rugby?
Yeah.
What sport? Wasn't there someone that, or like a college or something where they made their freshmen drink out of a cup? Like a jockstrap cup?
Oh, I was like, what else would you drink?
No, like a jockstrap cup.
That's
I don't
gross.
know what else you would call that. A nut holder.
That's ballsy.
Yeah. See, now there you go. That was a good
But
joke.
that was much better than my wackadoo bullshit earlier.
Hey, I heard Lowenbrau. Is that still a beer?
Yes, Lowenbrau is one of the breweries that so of the 6 breweries, that's one of the ones that's allowed to call themselves an Oktoberfest. So we're allowed to call beers Oktoberfest in the States because we're not controlled by the European Union, but nobody over there can call their beer an Oktoberfest unless it follows the Reinholzgebot laws and it's brewed in Munich at 6 of these breweries. But what's interesting is Spaten and Lowenbrau have merged. They merged in 97, and they're actually now they're owned by InBev. So I was very surprised at that.
Yeah, I remember seeing years ago, back when I was really young, Lowenbrau was a thing, but I haven't seen it in a while. Has anybody even seen it in a grocery store?
No. I don't think so. I think...
Man, now I'm going to have to look for it.
I was able to get 3 of the ones that actually serve in Munich. So I got Polliner, Spaten, and then this one is the one that I downed right away, the Hofbrau. But everybody knows that. They have some brew houses around the States, and those are awesome.
Yeah.
That's actually, I think, the
really
one that I
beer.
go to down the road. It's like downtown.
Yeah, we have one in Tampa.
More downtown.
Well, it reminds me of Disney World. Disney World has a restaurant like that where it's an all-you-can-eat buffet and German beer, and they do the whole ziggy zaggy, and yeah, that's awesome. I just love German.
Is that what it is, ziggy zaggy? Because for us, they told us it was like sicky saki. Sicky saki. Oi, oi, oi.
Some people say ticky tacky. Some people say ziggy zaggy. I don't know. I think you just have to say it.
Probably is like doesn't. Yeah, right. It probably like isn't an actual thing. Just everybody makes up their own.
Yeah, we probably go over there no matter what we're saying. They're like, oh, stupid Americans.
Yeah, right. Sound like idiots.
Right. But I always yell at ziggy zaggy. I used to think it was ticky tacky.
Ticky tacky.
But when I Googled it, I got both. So you do you.
Interesting. You do you.
I feel like I need to learn to speak German if I'm going to keep doing beer schools. There's just so many things I know I'm butchering.
German is such a ridiculous accent or like language, I guess. I feel like it's really complicated. Maybe it's not that complicated, but it just all sounds like yelling.
Yeah,
like everybody that speaks German just sounds like they're yelling.
They do. Yeah. A friend of mine was learning Swiss German, and she came across a video that was like, they would say a word in like 5 different languages, and it was like, hello, hola, and then everything with German would be like, dang, 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 dang. You know?
Yeah, right, exactly. Yep. That's really funny.
That's good.
But Either way, I really hope that Corona pulls it together, and because doing this research has just made me even sadder that I might not be in Munich next year, because we had been planning this trip for years. We probably had at least 20 of us ready to start booking stuff in March, because they say you're supposed to start booking things a year and a half in advance. Yeah.
Yeah.
And I need to go to Ireland and go to the Guinness brewery for sure.
I was the same way, but we were going to go to Carnival in Rio, in Brazil. But obviously that was also canceled. But yeah, that's something you have to plan really far in advance.
I bet you that wouldn't suck.
What was that?
I said, I bet you that wouldn't suck.
Oh, I thought you said would suck. Sure. I was like, geez.
I thought you said would suck. I was like, whoa. Who crapped in Jay's cornflakes? No. My goodness.
No, we've been through a couple of carnivals in St. Thomas. Those are.
Yeah. I want to go. That's like the first big event that I want to go to. Oktoberfest would be after that, but I want to go to Carnival in Brazil, in Rio specifically. I think that would be awesome. Yeah. But they have the most coronavirus down there.
So that means they'll all be immune to it in 6 months, and then you can go.
That's true. Yeah, then I can go. Perfect.
Just have MASH send it to you in a box. Get it real quick and.
Oh God.
Yeah,
like that episode of The Simpsons.
Can you just box me up some? I'll just fly out and make out with MASH and be like, and then I'll get it.
He probably tastes like pumpkin and maple.
Yeah.
Yeah. Oh God.
Guarantee you.
Gross. That's worse than like cigarettes and like nasty stuff that people don't like. MASH just tastes like pumpkin and maple.
Yeah. Cigarettes and coffee. MASH is pumpkin and maple.
Yeah. Right. Cigarettes and garlic. Garlic is another bad one.
Yeah.
Oh.
Yeah.
Yeah,
I don't remember who sent me this. This wasn't either of you, was it?
That's Jay.
Which one?
Jay, is this one from you?
Yeah, which one is it from?
It's Juicy Magic IPA.
From who?
From Devil's Backbone.
Oh yeah.
Is that one you?
Yeah.
Okay, I couldn't figure it out. I've got a lot of beer in my fridge that I don't know.
Yeah, those guys. I mean, those guys. It's your standard, brewery's been bought by a bigger brewery. What they did years ago was really, really good. Now it's a little bit, I mean, it's still decent beer, but it's not like a real juicy IPA, right? I mean, it's
yeah, right.
Kind of, off the shelf type of stuff that you can get in any grocery store. But it's drinkable. Their tap room and their breweries are pretty cool. If you're ever in that area of the country, stop in and see them. Got great food, German food, sausage, good stuff. But
one of the ones you sent us was a Vienna lager, which is basically like an Oktoberfest.
Yeah.
It's similar.
Yeah, and that's kind of, even before Devil's Backbone was bought, that was one of their beers that was really popular that they were doing, was that Vienna lager, even before they was purchased by, I think they were purchased by InBev. I think they're an Anheuser-Busch product, but... Yeah, that's a good beer. I like their Vienna lager for sure. That's kind of what got them on the map as a craft brewer.
I really like the Fonta Flora ones you sent. I think those. I haven't drank all of the Devil's Backbone, but those ones, the two of those were really good. And one of them was actually a collab with the Miami brewery, so that got me even more excited.
Yeah, I can definitely get you some more. I can get you guys some more of the Fonta Flora stuff too. They're pretty prevalent up here. A little bit harder to find than Dissolver is right now, but there's always something. I'll remember that and get you guys some more of those guys. Those guys are good. If you guys ever come out this way, that would be definitely one of those places we'd go to, because those guys are doing some pretty cool stuff down there. Yeah. They do a lot of open fermentation and stuff like that.
Oh.
So, yeah, we've got a little farm down there in Morganton. Pretty cool little setup they've got.
That's awesome. I was hoping to see open fermenters when I did the Anchor Brewing tour, and we didn't. But I'm guessing that if they do have them still, that they don't want random people walking through there. But that was one of the things I was looking forward to seeing. But yeah, you said you guys are recording at Boonshine. That was one of my favorite breweries when I visited years ago. I loved their beer. They were teeny tiny when I visited. Are they still in the same place?
No, they've got their own brewery. You might be able to see it. I'm not sure what the shot will be, but if you check it out, we'll be on Saturday, 10 a.m. starting. We'll go live 10 to 11. First half, we'll talk to Boonshine. We'll talk to the owner, Tim. We'll talk a little bit about his move, his expansion, and what they're doing now. They're opening up a food truck outside and have created a beer garden outside from everything that's gone on. So we'll talk a little bit about that, and then the last half we'll talk some college football. But yeah, I mean, those guys are doing it. I mean, they've got a cool setup. The challenge, as you know, if you've been to Boone, is parking for anybody in town is rough with the university and all that stuff. So they're a little bit, they're not like on Main Street, but they're crushing it where their new place is at. And they always do great beer. I went out there a couple of days ago, and I think I posted it. The Oktoberfest that they did that was a phenomenal Oktoberfest. I really enjoyed that beer. So
yeah,
it'll be fun.
Every time I've been up there, the kids haven't been in school, so it's been Christmas or summer, so we've never had that issue.
Oh, yeah.
But I remember they were in like a sandwich shop or something, or they shared space with. Yeah, okay.
Yeah,
the food was good too.
Yeah, they were just in a little sandwich shop there with what's the name of it? I can't remember the name of it now, but yeah, they've got their own brewery, own kitchen, nice sized tap room, good outdoor space. So it'll be fun. Those guys are good, and it's supposed to be pretty decent weather up here, so it should be pretty good. Yep.
Very nice. Well, I know Nash sent us the schedule to let everybody know what's coming on. So is it Adroit or Adroit Theory is going to be on October 1st next week. And then we have Ivanhoe Brewing is coming October 8th, and I will have Ivanhoe Beer in the mail for you guys on Monday. And then Western Collective October 15th to celebrate Mash turning 30, which he thinks this means he's like retiring and getting Social Security because he's acting like it's the end of the world and he's
pretty much. 30. Jesus, that's
I know, it's old as fuck, man. And then October 22nd, we have the Iowa Project. And then we're going to end October with Crystal Coast Brewing. So got a full lineup for the next month. Looks good. And I'm very excited to have our first Orlando brewery.
And I sent you guys some Crystal Coast beer as well. It's the only one I've been able to find out this way. I think they're a Wilmington brewery. Out of Wilmington, North Carolina, maybe. They're on the East Coast out here in North Carolina, I believe, somewhere. We get their lager. It's like a beach lager, I think is what it's called. I sent you guys that as well, so you guys will have that. MASH has one. Great beer. I've not had much of their beer, but the lager that I had was really good, so I'm looking forward to talking to those guys. It'll be fun talking to them. And hopefully we can get some other beers in people's hands, too, with the breweries we got coming on. That's always the best part, when you're able to drink their liquid and talk to them.
Yeah.
It just brings it to a whole new level for us anyways, and I think probably for the viewers as well.
Yes, and I did finally get to open that Raleigh Brewing beer, which I posted on our social media, and it was phenomenal. It was a great Belgian blonde. I mean, yeah, it was really good. So I'm bummed I wasn't drinking it when we were talking to Christy, the owner, but I'm glad I had it. I didn't even realize. As soon as she started to describe the can, I was like, oh my God, this is in my fridge. And I think she was like getting off the show, like that was like she was wrapping up.
Nice.
But yeah, it was really good.
Yeah. All right, folks, it's been a great episode. Like us, share us, subscribe to us on YouTube. We're also on Apple now with a podcast, which is really exciting. Lucky is doing big things with Feeling Lucky. Hoppy and Mash are crushing it with Hops Geek News. Always very, like I said, I've said it before and I'll say it again. I wish I could remember half the stuff those guys do about comic books and the whole storylines and everything. So it's fun to go back and listen to it or watch their episodes just so you can remember what's going on before the new ones come out. And it's been good listening to you guys. Lucky and his crew up there in Milwaukee are crushing it with Feeling Lucky. He's got some breweries, big breweries coming on here soon that those guys are featuring on their episodes. I'm looking forward to that, and I think, like you said, they're going to be at the location maybe when they film in the episodes. So that's going to be
yep.
Man,
and we'll be going live again from Mobcraft for their Black is Beautiful release. So we're going to have them on Feeling Lucky. They might come on Happy Hour as well to promote that, but that's something that they're doing with I believe it's Black MKE or MKE Black or something like that. One of the two websites, which is a big website here that does a lot for the African American community in Milwaukee. So I'm super excited to have them on. It's going to be awesome. But we'll be doing that that beer release similar to the Believe in Beer release that we did. So it'll be a lot of fun.
Yeah.
So I haven't heard from them, so I'm assuming they didn't take my peppermint nightmare before coffee idea. Such a winner, too. I did submit it, like, in the 11th hour.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Yeah, let's definitely try to get them on an episode of Hoppy Hour to help promote what it is that they're doing with that. I think that would be kind of cool to talk to them as well.
Yeah, well, for sure. JJ's the one that's been in contact. He's been killing it. But yeah, we have a ton of big guests. Lakefront they just can President, and Lakefront's huge. One of the bigger Milwaukee breweries. So that'll be a lot of fun, but he's been in contact with all of them. So I'll try to get him to include Hoppy Hour in their little car wash that they do with Hops News. But yeah, it'll be fun. I'm super, super excited.
Awesome. We will fire up the after hours on the Zoom for our Patreons, our Pale Ale and Above Patreon. So if you're interested, pop in there. We've already posted it on the Patreon page. If you're interested in supporting our cause, because we always spend the money for good things like promoting the page and trying to raise more money. We've got some bomber jackets that are available. We've got all we've got that bomber jacket. We've got that bomber jacket. We've got that bomber jacket.
It's customized. I don't know if you guys can get yours customized, but
no,
bomber jacket.
It's customized. I don't know if you guys can get yours customized, but
no, they're not.
Yeah,
that's extra work.
You cannot.
No, Matt and
Jonah,
your koozies and stickers are going in the mail tomorrow. I am sorry for the delay. This virtual school is kicking my ass.
Yeah, for sure.
But they're going in the mail this weekend everybody's getting beer and koozies.
Awesome. And it's been good, and we definitely appreciate the support. I will tell you that we spend every dime that we make within Patreon on our website and on promoting the Facebook page that most of you are watching us on, because this is where we raise the most money. Appreciate anybody that's donated tonight. Appreciate everybody that's helped out with that, and definitely and very grateful for our Hops News family, our Patreon members.
I'm grateful for Steven tonight. Steven tonight was awesome.
Yeah, Steven
really
was good, man.
guest.
And he's always liking and promoting, and he's always in the chat. So we definitely appreciate Steven as well. And, man, I'm looking forward to watching him grow that brewery. That's going to be fun.
For sure.
Knowing a guy that's kind of doing it on his own, one piece at a time and making it happen. So, Steven, best of luck with you. Appreciate your time tonight, and it was great talking to you. Hey, guys, we'll see you next week, Thursday night, 8 p.m., right here on Hoppy Hour. Cheers.
Hopefully MASH isn't dead of COVID.
Yeah, hopefully MASH has got it together and has kicked the COVID by then.
We'll have to send him some Dunkin' Donuts coffee beer. Or coffee. Yeah, just coffee. I don't know why I said beer.
Love you guys. Cheers.